Hello, hello, party people. Hey, it's your host, Matt Morgan. How's everybody doing today? You're listening to another episode of Car Musings. I hope you meant to tune into this because here you are. Anyways, you're listening to Car Musings. I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and thanks for tuning in. Please check out themadmorgan.com. Let's start out with that. And how is your integrity? How is your integrity? You keeping your integrity in check? Is the question I always need to ask you. Anyways, I'm out and about on a really crappy weather night, and it's just one of those things, you know. You gotta just roll with the punches and take it slow, but it's terrible driving season. But you just gotta get through it, just like all the struggles of life you can get through. So, anyways, I had my meeting today with my psychologist, which frankly is more like just a buddy at this point. Really interesting. I really like talking to him because it's an educated perspective on things. Like the guy's like a over 30-year veteran, all levels, from childhood all the way up to like seniors. He's pretty much helped out everybody, and you know what? There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. So don't think because you see somebody and talk to somebody, a therapist, psychologist, even a psychiatrist, there's no shame in it because there's a lot of struggles we got to deal with in life, and anything that's going to help you make it through, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a good thing. Keeps you level, keeps you balanced, keeps you on the up and up, keeps you on the, you know, dealing with stuff. Because let's be honest, life's no fun at times with all the struggles and challenges and everything else we got to go through. So if we could find something to actually deal with stuff, it's important, you know. Do people just have the ignorance of thinking that, oh, well, they're perfect and they don't need to talk to somebody? There's a lot more people that need to talk to people than they realize. There's a lot of fucked up people out there that, frankly, they need their own little therapist or shrink or anything else. They do. They friggin' do. They don't realize it, but they do. So, anyways, what do I want to talk about today? You know what? I think what I want to talk about today kind of goes hand in hand with some previous episodes, and but I just want to like make sure that you, my listener, and all of my listeners, this time of year, winter season, whatever, wherever you are in the world, um, there's times of year, not necessarily this time of year. It all depends, as I said, where you are, but you know, it can be difficult, and you get a lot of really crazy ideas and thoughts and everything else. And I think what I want to talk about is don't listen to the negative, and I'll tell you why. Some advice I was given when I was trying to understand why the brain goes wacky at times was the brain is inquisitive, okay? The brain has an imagination and it's curious. It likes to throw out scenarios, it likes to throw out ideas because it's curious. So, you know, when you got these negative feelings and you got the negative thoughts in your head, don't give too much and pay attention to them if they go against your moral code. If they go against your rational mind, don't listen to them. All right? Because that's the brain just being curious. It really is. The brain just being curious. Those thoughts are not your thoughts. They're basically just the brain being curious. So if you think some really bizarre stuff, don't think you're whacked out of your tree. It's simply, as I said, the brain being curious. And some of this shit, I'll tell you, makes you shake your head and go, where the frig did that come from? Because that's twisted. Like, I wouldn't think of that stuff. But I was wondering about that. This is kind of the reason why I still, once in a while I poke in and see somebody that understands the mind, that understands, you know, human, the human concept and the human frailties and all this stuff like that. So, I said, hey, what's up with this? And basically that was I was given. It's the brain's curiosity. It's not your thoughts. So what you really got to do is when you're having those dark thoughts or you're having those bizarre thoughts and everything else, what you really have to do is think to yourself, is this me? No, it's not you. if it goes against your code, your fiber, your moral compass, if it goes against everything that you believe in or hold dear or anything like that, then it is not you. So you got to remember that it's not you. All right, that is the brain getting curious. That's all it is. It's not you. You're not getting warped. You're not getting whacked. And everything else. Remember that. And also, there cannot be no, dark without light. So you can't always switch that around. You can't always shake it off. You can't always come to reason with it. And you can't always bring some light into it to try to put it back on track, but also to tell your brain, hey, you might be curious about this, but this isn't who we are. So we're gonna change channels here, and we're gonna go back to our regular broadcast. You know, that's what we're gonna go with. That's how this is going to work. And we all get down and out. This is true. We all get down and out. We all get bummed. You know, we all get upset. We all get pissed off. We all go through a lot of these challenging thoughts. And what you really have to do is you have to rationalize with yourself cause and effect, right? If you engage in certain actions, is that beneficial? What are you going to get out of it? Temporary joy? Yeah, maybe. But is it worth the cost it's going to be to you if you actually act on certain thoughts? Probably not. So you really might want to make sure to keep that in check, you know, as to not, entertain your brain from being curious. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Just put it back on track. Just put it back on track. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, you're going off the reservation here, bud. Time for you to swing back the right way. You know, think of a happy thought. Think about your motivation, your dreams, your goals. Think about what you want to do. You can't let the negative bring you down. You can't. Don't let it bring you down. Hell, I've been going through shit for the last 2 years and struggling. You know what? And I even ran it past, the pros, and I said, fuck, I want to do this, and they're like, yeah, but what's that going to get you? I'm like, you're right. It'd be temporary satisfaction, but at the cost of my freedom and my life, I don't think it's worth it. You know? I mean, I'm pissed off at a bunch of people. I mean, I feel sorry for them. It's turned from being pissed off at these people to fuck. I feel bad for you that you're that way. You're that big of an asshole. I feel bad for you that this is your life. And at the end of the day, the way certain people are, you can't change people. You can change yourself and you can change how you deal with it. You can't change people. And when it all's said and done, they're not going to have a legacy. They're not going to be remembered. They're going to be forgotten. You know, so build your legacy in the right way, and you'll definitely be remembered. Just stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. You know, like do the right thing, live right, treat people well, have a moral code. Don't give into the negative thoughts. And don't get me wrong, when you're down and out, pissed off at the world, those negative thoughts seem very enticing. But if you work out the math, whatever idea that comes to your mind there, you'll probably end up regretting, right? You'll probably regret it. I guarantee you'll regret it in one way or another. And you'll be so distraught because you entertained this little curiosity nugget that your brain had that, you know, you'll be like more pissed off at yourself than you were at anything else. Eh, it's the way I deal with it. I mean, I've got back into some of my roots and some of my faith and my craft and you know other things that I've been doing that I put aside, and it's time to get back on track on stuff. And It's like that old expression is fuck around and find out. Well, I'm done with people fucking around, and a bunch of them are gonna find out. Won't see it coming, but they're gonna find out. You know? Oh no 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 no! Don't even think I'm gonna go friggin' Lee Harvey or Oswald or something like that. No 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 no. I do it a little more. What goes bump in the dark, you know, you won't know what's going bump in the dark, and it'll make your it'll 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 get you when you don't know it, and you won't know where it's coming from. But that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You got to be a little more strategic about how you do things these days, because you know it's if they see it coming, they see it coming. They'll be prepared for it. You don't want them to be prepared for it. Find, as I said in a previous episode, find your inner peace. Find what gives you balance. Find what gives you that kind of, you know, what you need in order to keep moving forward, and just go with it and take care of yourself with it. Don't let anybody else, you know, take that away from you. If it works for you, don't do what I've done and shelve your balancing point. Don't shelve that. I did it for other reasons, and it was quite the struggle. But now that I'm back into my sandbox, into my playground, where I know what to control and how to control and what I can do, and everything else, that works for me. And just like I'm hoping after one of our last episodes, you found something that works for you. Because you can use that in so many ways. You could use that for those negative thoughts. You could use that for those times that you're down and out. That is something that you can utilize to your full potential, which works for you to help you get through those hard times. Absolutely. Absolutely use it for those things. There's so much you can use it for. Rough day, good day, thought processes, trying to get through something, creativity. I mean, there's so many ways when you find a balancing point, because it helps keep you balanced, right? You don't want to feel off tilt. You don't want to feel that, you've lost control. So you find what works for your balancing point and you go with it. Simple as that. Simple as that. So today's episode is probably going to be a little, you know, um, shorter than usual. I'm out driving. I'm working. You know, I got I got a gig that gets me in the car a lot more, and that's probably why there's been an escalation of episodes. But yeah, I just thinking to myself tonight as I'm out, because I'm out pretty late. I'm like, you know what? I want to do something on how to deal with negativity, and that's basically it. Find yourself a good luck charm. Find yourself a fidget thing. Find yourself something that just, if you need something physical to help you focus, then find that. Find that, use it, keep it with you, make it your security blanket, whatever the case may be, and go with it. That's all I'm going to say. Just go with it. Anyways, life's too short to dwell in the negative. Life's too short to let other people bring you down. You just have to find something that's going to perk you up again, get you back on track, and help you be able to fight the next bullshit that comes your way. Because if you're empathetic and you're considerate and kind and generous, like myself, you're going to be a victim. You're going to be targeted, because there's a lot of friggin' nasty people out there that, frankly, you know, they should take a long walk off a short pier. But unfortunately, these are the, psychopaths that get ahead in the world where the rest of us have to struggle. So find something that's going to help you deal with those assholes. Anyways, I think that's a bit it for today. This is a short episode. I want to thank you very much for tuning into today's episode of Car Musings. Stay strong. Keep your integrity in check, but stay strong. Tomorrow is going to be a better day, and if it's not, the next day will be. Keep moving forward. The days will get better. Everything comes full circle. It doesn't like there's a saying from one of my best favorite movies. It can't rain all the time. And it's true, it cannot rain all the time. So just remember that. It cannot rain all the time. And eventually there will be sunny days. And that's when you rebuild and you refortify. Anyways, that's about it for today's episode. I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Car Musings. I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you next episode. Right. Bye for now.